Live from Vancouver, British Columbia. Okay, let's get started here. Look like a kappa. Let's bring the picture. Entire screen. There we go. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? Okay. We are live. Thank you guys for joining me on the Shadow Chasing Show. Those are coming into the chat room. We'll just get started here when you guys are ready to come in. It's going to be a very interesting night tonight. Let me drop this mic a little bit lower. They can see me now. If only you can see me now. Okay. Let's make adjustments here. There, now you guys can see me. Okay. And what else we got to do here? Let's add a few more things to this. What else? Okay. Thank you guys for being in the chat room. We are going to be we do have YouTube chat room as well as a Facebook today. I decided to do some psychic readings this evening. Everybody's been asking me, well, when are you going to do some psychic readings? I thought, you know what? I actually requested my wife. She asked me, she says, why aren't you going down and do some readings? Oh, okay. She goes, all I keep talking about is politics. No, I don't talk about politics. I talk about the world news and reviews, but we're not doing that tonight. Well, can't quote me if I'm going to say that or not. But I do have a phone line open if anybody wants to call in. Nice to see you, Bonnie. Welcome to the chat room. Yeah, I think you're the first coming in. Yes, I'm a little bit early because most people are caught in the last minute. I was having a little bit of difficulties trying to get my stuff put into the wall quick enough, and I got held up. But I got another laptop here where I made my print shop. I'll give you guys a bit of an explanation of what happened. Was my computer has been upgraded, and for some reason I got potato chips, salt in my fingers. For some reason, when I'm trying to download or put a new file or download the new file of print shop into my computer, it doesn't recognize the program. So I've upgraded because I've upgraded my computer so well that it doesn't recognize the program. I'm going, oh, now what am I going to do? Now, the only thing that they're trying to force you to do is to buy a Corel. I don't want to buy Corel because Corel is too bloody expensive. So I'm sticking with my print shop I've been using for a lot of years. So I said to my wife, well, maybe I'll just use my laptop, which I have over here to my right, and I'll just transfer the files over to that one and make my print shop in there, my banners and all that, put it in here, and then transfer back to the computer. It takes a little bit longer, but it works. And you guys may be noticing and thinking, okay, you may look a little I may look a little different by you folks in this camera that I'm using right now. Is because it is an 8, not this is an older one. I'm using it for doing this show because this one here is through Facebook, and then I have my cell phone ready to take calls for you guys for readings. And you'll see the number on the wall, 604-818-8375. That's my number. And I do take calls for readings, just so you guys want to get a sample of what I do. A lot of people are asking me also, like, how long you've been doing this. Well, myself, I've been doing this since I was a kid, recognizing ghosts and spirits, that sort of thing, since I was a kid. Born in Manitoba, it's considered one of the most haunted provinces in Canada, and so I grew up around that, and people doing seances and spiritual churches, not spiritualist churches, and that sort of thing. So I've been immersed in it since I was a kid, but I wasn't practicing it. I mean, especially in public. I just thought I was the only one, the only kid. I thought all the kids were able to see spirits, and I guess apparently not. And so I guess my mom had a gift as well. So I talked to her about it, and then she would say, "Well, just keep it between you and I." She said, "Just don't tell everybody, because the kids, if you tell a kid in school that you're going to be that you see ghosts and spirits, first thing what the kids do, they start picking on you, go, oh, you're crazy, you're nuts, right?" So you didn't want to do that. So I got used to it, and it didn't bother me in a bad way. I was kind of fascinated because they were just people like you and I. And normally you would see the upper part of their body up to their waistline. That's most times how I see them. And it looks as if they're, but I guess the story goes that many of them actually have, when they passed away, they don't always tell you how they died. They'll just say, "Well, I'm here to say goodbye," and they'll come and see that person, and then they, once they tell them they love them, whatever have you, and then they walk away, and then they just disappear. I'll give you guys an example. When I was 8, 9 years old, was I 9 or hang on, 9 or 10, and I was living in Winnipeg then, and we're visiting. My mom and dad had good friends that they would visit, oh, maybe once every weekend, and I would say Jim and Shirley, and I won't mention their last name, Jim and Shirley, and they had a daughter and a son, and apparently that weekend, that day, I was playing in the bedroom with the kids, like everybody else does. As a kid, and the front door, you could see from the bedroom, you could see the front door. And I guess well, everybody's sitting down talking, and then they heard a doorbell ring, and then Shirley answered the door, and she opened it up. And as I'm coming out, I can see, and she can see, and what she was basically seeing was her brother, the upper half of him. And he was telling her that basically she was expecting him to come and see her, but he told her he died in a car accident, and that he won't be making it to stay with her or come see her. Then he wanted to say goodbye. Interesting part, I got to see that, where I was standing just slightly to the right, her back to me, while she's talking to him. And he looked at, I guess if it's in a way, as if he looked at me, and then he turned around and he left. Now, from his waist down, there was nothing there. It was like his space, like nothing there. They watched him walk away down the sidewalk, and as he walked away down the sidewalk, he just disappeared. Like he's like gone. What happened was he was killed in a car accident, and the reason why just the upper part of the body was that he was in a head-on collision, and the engine came through the front windshield. So he got head-on collision with a semi truck. Now it wasn't his fault. Apparently, it was a drunk driver. Now this took place back in the 1960s, so you can't blame another race. This was a typical fall asleep, whatever, behind the wheel, head-on collision. He couldn't, but don't forget now too, these vehicles that we were driving back then, they're like giant Cadillacs made of steel. So that's why the engine went out from the front end out through the windshield and basically decapitated him, upper part of him. So his body was there, and the other body was the lower part was over there. It's almost like Achman the Dead Terrorist, like when he blew himself up, he goes, "I'm over here, I'm over here, and I'm over here, and I'm over here." So that's how things work out. So basically, that's how I was able to start seeing spirits more. And also, to the house that I lived in Winnipeg, was haunted, and it wasn't deliberately haunted. The husband and wife owned this house, and they died in a car accident. Go figure, more car accidents. And we moved in. Now, we did not know um, that they had passed away. All we knew was that the place was for rent. My parents rented the place. And when my mom noticed there was ghostly um, people in the house, a woman and a man, so she inquired about it through the next door neighbor, which was a family member. And when they said it was the husband and wife, which basically was his brother and his sister-in-law that died in a car accident, so their ghostly spirit stayed in the house, and so they became my babysitters, which was the cool part. Yeah, they became my babysitters, and I was the only one who could see them. My mom could see them, I could see them, but nobody else could, not my sister, anybody else. That's the way it was. So, anyways, I one time, for example, my like both my parents were working at the time. My mother worked as a switchboard operator. My dad worked as an auto body man. My mother was a little late to go to work, so normally I had a babysitter take care of me. The babysitter was my cousin, who wasn't there on time. So my mother would say, to the ghosts, keep an eye on my son. Don't let him go out of the house until the babysitter gets here. So as my mother leaves, never locked the door. She just walked out the door and closed behind her. So I'm grabbing the doorknob, opening it up to follow my mom. Well, I couldn't. The door would not turn. It was seized. Okay, the doorknob seized. I was kept in the house. They would not let me leave. And I knew my parents had to go to work. So I mean, I wasn't foolish. I wasn't saying, "Oh, mom," I wasn't crying, "Oh, mom, going away." No, I already knew. And so they'll say, "Come on, let's go play." So they kept me busy for about 20 minutes to half an hour until the babysitter showed up. So I got used to that. But again, as a kid, you thought that was normal, and it never bothered me. And I got around. I was so, I would say, I experienced the good and I experienced the bad of it. I experienced the first time in my life um, the Ouija board, where two twin brothers got a Ouija board for their birthday, and I didn't know anything about Ouija boards. Mom and Dad never mentioned about a Ouija board. But I was at the twin brothers' house, and these kids are from England, and they moved to Canada, and so I was invited to their birthday party, and there was a whole bunch of kids, but we were the last four. It was just two brothers, myself, and another Jewish boy. And I want to say Jewish boy because he wore the top cap on his head, and he wore a Star of David on his clothes or coat. Anyways, the boys just got a birthday gift, which actually was the Ouija board. Now, you just don't know, but I'm sitting in the chair or couch, I'd say. There's couch on the left and couch over here. So it's like an L-shaped couch. The twin brothers are on one side. I'm sitting with the Jewish boy. And for some reason, as soon as the boys brought out the Ouija board, I mean, as in laid it on the table, the big square table, big oak table, it was about maybe 3.5 feet, 4 feet square. And the boys wanted to play the game. So for some reason, my heart was pounding. And I go like, ooh, something doesn't feel right. I'm hurt, like just pounding. And the first thing to the Jewish boy says, "That's the devil's board." And the kid's going, "Oh yeah, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, crazy. Yeah, right, whatever, right?" And I didn't know, right? So what the Jewish boy did, he proved it. He says, "Okay, take out the board and put it on top of the table." So they took the board, put it on top of the table. Now the planchette wasn't there, the item that's used to cross the table. So the table was just sitting on the table, right square in the center. And the boy said out loud, "If this is God's board, it won't burn. If this is the devil's board, it will burn." And he put the Star of David on top of the board. Suddenly you could smell smoke and sulfur like it smelled like sulfur. I knew I could smell sulfur. I mean, I knew what sulfur smelled like because I remember Dad working on some stuff that had sulfur, like a match, right? I could smell sulfur and I could smell smoke, and you can watch the smoke coming out from all four sides of the board, under the board. And the brother went shove, and it went to the floor. The whole under part of the board was black burnt. I got up, never even qualmed. I mean, I never even stood there and stared. I was up and gone out that door. I freaking ran down the street. I was gone. There's no way I was going to hang around for that one. I was gone. And so, anybody's ever had an experience of a Ouija board, been there, experienced it. And this is back in 1966. Okay, this is a long time ago, folks. Ouija boards have been around for a long time. I went through that first experience. Now, through the years, Ouija boards have been around. Yes, people still bring them out. In fact, they've been making Ouija boards and for Canada, United States, all across the world for kids. They've got a Ouija board for Barbie, from a Barbie Ouija board. They've got glow-in-the-dark Ouija boards for kids, and they keep on bringing them out and get kids to play with them. Well, you wonder why the kids are so messed up. Because there's hardly anything in there to, like the time, earlier years, nothing in there said you need to have an adult present to play the board, or to use a Ouija board. They just said, "Oh, it's fun to play, and you can call on they can look for your relatives or anybody you can have, great, whatever happens, whatever it says in there, you can also, oh, lots of fun, sure, lots of fun, right?" So in the meantime, I learned a lesson in it, but I had to do the research on Ouija boards. I had to find out what makes it so that way, never to use it again, or can we use it again? What I found out through the years, later on as I got older, I found out that what the mistake was made. The young Jewish boy intentionally called for something on it. You know, yeah, do I think some of these adults know what to do? I believe so, but there should be instructions now in these boxes like they used to be, yes, for the Ouija boards. Today, it's a little more, well, let's put it this way. In England, in 1972, they passed a law that it's illegal to sell a Ouija board to a child, okay, to a child, and apparently no younger than 18, 19, like, minimum age, like drinking age. So no children are allowed, and they're not allowed to have any Ouija boards to be sold in any toy stores. So that was removed, and that was in England. Now, here in Canada, they're still selling them to kids. In the United States, they're still selling them to kids. There needs to be adult supervision for Ouija boards. If you're going to use them, there should be adult use supervision. But mind you, they should never ever use them where there's children at all, because children are innocent. They have no idea, because one day they may want to use the Ouija board without mom and dad present, and they're going to get drawn to it. And then next thing you know, they wonder why they're so messed up in the head, because you have to learn to use the light of God to protect you first. Once you're done playing it, then you close it with the light of God, and you tell them to go back behind the veil, not to stay out. Because what happens is people just pick up the board like it's regular any kind of game, slap it shut, throw it in the box, and then you wonder why there's always such discernment in the home, because they didn't put it away properly. Now, so Ouija boards can be, now what these are, folks, they're just tools. When you're calling for spirits to come to you to get a message, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is a reason for it. You have to learn to become an expert at it, and learn to know the difference between good and bad, whether it's a good energy or bad energy, okay? Negative energy or a good positive energy. Everything has a good and bad. It's like a battery, it has a good one or a bad one. That's all this is. my practicing of communicating with people in the spirit world has been all my life, and it's been ongoing. I'm not the first person that's been doing this. It's been ongoing for generation. That's the reason why they have the witch hunts, because the witches, and they're not just women, men too, who also have the ability to communicate with the spirit world. Now, the first person, how do you say this? The first person who communicated in a book, okay, a very famous book. The first person who communicated with the spirit world that everyone believed in is Jesus. It's the Bible. The Bible has been used to communicate with God. Jesus has been talking to God. He's a messenger. I just say Jesus is a medium. It's the same thing, because he always says in Corinthians 11 through 20, with these gifts you shall do greater. That means he's giving you his gift. He's showing you you can do the same thing. Now, intuition is in everyone. Okay. So the thing is that we've all have a gift ourselves. We trust what we do when we wake up in the morning. We make a decision what kind of clothes to wear, what we want to eat, where we want to go. That's intuition. You're trusting your own intuition. You get these energy feelings where, well, something feels good or something feels bad, or I feel okay, blah, 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 blah. All these things, we all go through these practices of learning things. But people still have a fear once in a while, because there's always going to be someone who's going to say to them, well, if I were you, I wouldn't mess with that. Well, number one, you're not me. Number two, if you are going to tell me if I were you, I wouldn't do it, then don't. Walk away. But there's always going to be people that are going to try to put fear in you. They're going to make you believe that you know, Jesus is always a spiritual person, always has been. So, and so are we. We are doing God's work. That's what this is all about. There's nothing in the Bible says we can't. We are here to help each other out. So that's why we have so much to give in this world. I can tell people this. There are so many things happening now that everyone is been traumatized through active fire, active storms, active ground shaking. I mean, all of this is happening. Now, is this God's work? No. This is somebody else. This is man's work. They're doing this specifically to make us believe that we have no power to we have that we can't take care of ourselves, and so they want us to believe that they are the answer, and we have to follow them, or they're going to help us. But their intention is not to even help us. Okay, we have forgotten to take care of ourselves. We have forgotten to take care of each other. We have forgotten to take care of our neighbors. And so, because they were teaching us these last 4 or 5 years to trust your neighbor, to not to trust your loved ones, to not to trust your family, not to trust even a friend or someone that you just knew or know, right? They're trying to separate us from society to the point where we can't be with other groups of people or just be with people. They want to separate us individually. And so, because they figured if they can separate us, there's no. When we gather together in one room, when all these people gather together in one room, the energy is phenomenal, because we're here specifically to support and to help each other up. Okay, it's the energy to help each other up. We're made of energy. We have a crystallines inside of our body. Okay, so we're here to help each other, but we're also here to help Mother Earth, and we're here to do our prayers. We're here to do many, many things. We're here to sing and celebrate. Okay, each and every one of us in this world, we're able to do so many things and celebrate it. Whenever, I don't care what culture, your race, creed, I don't care, religion, you're celebrating who you are. Whether you are going thinking that you're doing something right and it could be wrong, it's your decision. Okay? People have, yes, Heidi, people don't hardly help anymore. It's rare. Yes, you know why? Here I'll give an example. You'll see some of these guys are doing some YouTube channels, and they're offering their services for free, say to take soffit down and replace it, put up new soffits, and offering them for free, like giving them new soffits or new gutters or new roof. And what happens is the people say, no, no, no. Must be something in it. There must be a, what do you want from me? Nobody does anything for free anymore because they forgot to trust each other. If someone's offering you a service and they're giving it to you for free without no obligations, and because they care, and it's happened to me where people have offered me things as gifts, like, here, I want to give this to you, Derrick, because you deserve this. Like, you don't have to. No, 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 it's okay. I'm so used to giving, but I'm not used to receiving, because I've always worked hard for people, because my mother always taught me that don't expect anything from anyone as long as you know that people remember who you are, that you're given to the world. That's the reason why that a lot of times when I do readings for people, at times I give back to the universe. Yes, I earn a living doing this, but I also give back to the universe. There are times I give people readings for nothing. Why? Because I feel it's important that they need to receive that message without earning the income this way. I can earn income another way. And it happens all the time. I never worry about this. But the reason why I do these special nights of psychic readings, because Spirit said, no, we have to do this evening because the energy needs to be lifted up and people need that hope again. People need to know not to worry what's going to happen next. Okay? There's so much stuff that you would find on these Instagrams, TikToks. I'm talking about anger, hate, frustration, like people are abusing each other. I mean, I know the police do this, how harmful they are to people now. They're telling people, oh, if you don't do as I tell you, you're going to go to jail. If you don't do as I tell you, you're going to go to jail. If you don't do as I tell you, you're going to go to jail. What is with this? I remember when I was a kid, when I was growing up, no cop ever said to me, well, if you don't do as I tell you, you're going to go to jail. They said, well, what is the problem? What can we do for you? They weren't going to try and handcuff you and take you to jail because they suspect that you look different. No, they're asking, what do you need? What's the problem? Can I help you? These words used to be to serve and protect, which was basically for the public. But they forgot what their job is now. It's more of a Roman gladiator attitude. Okay, it is. If you look at these police officers today, take off their uniform and put a Roman soldier's uniform on them back from time past. Just think about it. Just do it. Guaranteed you're getting the same attitude, because Rome never fell. It was controlled by the Vatican. And they just changed the uniform. They just changed the costume. They're still doing the same thing, telling us what to do. Okay? And they still try to, and they also, anybody who's a leader, one singular leader, or even kings and queens, and they'll say, you can't hunt this area that belongs to the king and queen. Or if you hunt there and you say you take a deer and you bring it home because you're starving, and these soldiers see you to have this deer, and then they arrest you and put you in jail. Why? Because they said you stole the king's deer. No, we're hungry. They don't care, because they are told to do what they're told to do. And so if you take that Roman soldier's uniform off and put a cop's uniform on there, they're doing the same thing. You've taken your rights away from you. They're taking your survival skills away from you. They're trying to make you believe that you can't be independent. They're taking your independence away from you. And so, but you see, in the spirit world, when we meditate In the spirit world, when we sit quietly with ourselves, you can put bars in front of me and I'm going to be sitting and meditate. Why? Because they can't hurt me here. They can physically, whatever they want to do to this body, but they can't hurt me here. I'm safe in here. Why? There's no prison in my mind. There isn't. But they're telling what Spirit says to me that they are scared. The bad people are scared. They, all they're wanting to do is think they have to survive by controlling society. They can't. No one has to, right? Yeah, like Robin Hood and the Romans, same way. So we have many Robin Hoods, okay, out there that are surviving. Okay, even to this day, we still do. They're all in different countries, all across the world. But again, Spirit showed me these police officers in a vision, and they said, take off your uniforms and put Roman soldier uniforms on them from time past, like as if they're in Rome. They are the same repeat of who they once were. They're abusing the public. Now, this is not about making it negative all the time, but what's happening is weird. What we're all going through, it's a repeat. It's a reenactment, it's a repeat performance of time past. So they're up, all they've really done is updated the world, and it's still the same thing. Hardly anything's changed. Sure, we've advanced in some technology, but it's still the same. Rome still tries to control us. The Pope represents Rome. He's the head of the, we call it, citadel, or we call that big, huge building. Okay, the Vatican. Well, if you type in the word Vatican, means Rome. It's all it is. They just changed the name. Okay. Now, spirit world, we are always well taken care of. Always have been. There have been so many nomadic people that have walked across the land, not just like even like Moses, and many others that are just individually out of their way from different parts of the world, international countries. You always see people walking with walking staffs and just living, right? And that's basically, we became nomadic. Now, the word nomad, well, think about it. Who started the Catholic religion? It wasn't the Catholics. There's people before them. They're the original people that actually had the cross, right? The pagans. The pagans, or the pagans, they were the ones that carried the Holy Cross. And then the Catholics, which was the Romans, took that from the pagans and adopted it to be their cross. But Jesus was on the cross. Does that make any sense? They sacrificed him on the cross, but yet they took the cross too. They're hypocrites. Doesn't make any sense. But we've learned lessons every lifetime. Many of us have had past lives. Many times we've actually traveled across the lands, or there's places we've always wanted to go to. And people will say, for some reason, did we meet somewhere before? Like, you look familiar, like I know you, I'm not sure where. Or you travel somewhere, you have a strong longing to go to a certain country. You don't know why you need to go, but you go. Those are your past lives. Your cell memory is calling you there. Your cell memory is still waking you up and showing you. Some people say, I don't know why I feel like I need to get back to the earth and learn about medicines, because you're a doctor before, or you're a medicine keeper before. All you're really doing is you're bringing back the cellular memory and you're waking it up again. Why do people call it the Great Awakening? You are reminding yourself, reminding the mind, reminding, okay? Re means you're redoing, you're remembering, remember. You're learning how to become, or how you're just bringing back all your memories. And when you start working with the earth more, getting more dirt in your hands and your feet, because most people stop even wearing shoes, they're back in the dirt all the time. We're part of it. But why would society of the past say, oh, the pagans were evil, they're terrible people, they sacrificed children? No, one's not true. They didn't. They were dropping that back onto the pagans because it was the Christians that were doing the sacrifices. It has nothing to do with the pagans. The pagans were very simple people. They were nomadic. They weren't hurting anyone. And most of the pagan healers were not the men. They were the women. So down the road, through the years, some religion, later on through the years, decided to change the word pagan to witch. Okay? Now, but they didn't call them witch back then. They were calling them something else. It was not devil worshippers, it was not Satanists. They gave them a different name. Wicca. Wicca. Okay, in their own language. Then they changed to that. If you look at if you separate the word WITCH, it's the wit. What's a wit? Okay, you know the word. What's the word wit mean? First, let's use the word witness. Okay, witness means someone who observes. Oh, I'm the witness. Okay, so the witch, WIT, is an observer, and the CH is the earth, who actually was the seer of the earth or witnessed the earth. So a witch on the craft, that's what they're doing. If you look at your words carefully, split them up, and you'll have a better understanding of how the words are used. For example, let's use the word hospital. Now, on the 6th floor, we have hospice. Hosp, HOSP, that's the 6th floor of the people of the dead that are dying, right? Hospice. And spice means respite, means that there's a place where they can pass away. Hospital is HOSP. ITAL means tall building of the dead. It has nothing to do with curing or fixing people. It's a tall building of the dead. Okay, same thing with your vaccination. Okay, in Latin, vaca means cow. Cyanation means lining up of cows. Everything has a purpose of words. They were used specifically by the people of the past, created those words that way. They wanted, because to them it's following the dark side, not the positive side. But we were taught the old language. We're taught not the old language. We're taught the language of what they want us to learn. So people began to abbreviate words. They abbreviate words in a very, and you think you're doing something good. Now, let's put it this way. Someone says, well, if you're giving blessings to someone, and someone decided to break up the word be blessing, that means they're taking it away from you. Well, you know what? No. I asked Spirit about that word blessing, and they said no. People are going to even make it every word a negative word. No matter what you write, be blessing, I mean, take it away from you. No. Blessing is blessing. It means you are being blessed. It means because in God's light, why would God enlighten you with a blessing? Right? So there are words I will contradict, make a decision my own way, because same with the word spelling. Okay, spelling. Is that giving someone a spell? Well, spelling is actually not a negative word, because, for example, someone say, well, put a spell on you. There's that song. Spell does not mean witchcraft, by the way, because spelling does not always mean a bad thing. A, a spell, I've seen people do spells of helping someone, spells of getting healthier, spells of taking their heart attack away, spells to get their body to be improved. Not every spell is bad. They're making it where everything in the word spell, oh my God, spell the word, spell your name. There you go. Spell your name. If I spell my name, that means it's negative? No. So it's how you understand it. Or now, I remember my friend Jordan Maxwell says, he says, you don't say understanding, because why would you be understanding? So he would say inner standing, inside your heart, in your belief. So he said the words have been changed so much that people become confused after. And sure, there'll be a time that we'll have to, relearn some of the words, or if you're used to doing it, you don't want to change. That's your choice. You're not harming nobody, right? So thank you guys for being both in my chat rooms. Those are in the YouTube chat room. That was also well in the Facebook chat room. Thank you for coming in. So, and I hope you had a great time out there, Bettina, up in your country where you're from. Are you back home, or are you still up there? But anyways, like I said before, tonight I wanted to do readings for you guys. If you guys want to call in, you're more welcome to. Let me drop the number on this little wall here. Where's my fancy pen? 604. There we go. You can call in, ask a question, whether you want to ask a question or you want to get a reading about family love, make a message, or get a reading from a loved one, or maybe something you want to find out in the future. Right? This is what I do. I've been doing this for a long, long time. If I would say professionally, about 50 years. No, 40. No, take it back. No, correct me. 30. Yeah, 40 years. Yeah, 40 years. 40 years of this work. Oh my God. I remember the first time I just started, I thought, okay, I was kind of worried how far if it's going to succeed or not. 40 years of this work professionally, experiencing spirits since I was a kid, a good 60 years. Yeah, a good 60 years of it. So I've been around it for a long, long time. I've been around the paranormal. Okay, para and normal means unknown, unknown world, unknown entity, unknown place. Paranormal, right? It was interesting. Thank you for sharing. Oh, okay. So it means you have trouble with somebody in your family. Oh, I know you, Bettina. Okay, that's just a joke. She's going, no. Yeah. So it has been good for everyone. Like I said, tonight my wife says, why don't you do some readings tonight instead of always talk about politics? And so I thought, okay, I'll do readings. Now, I'm not all like, let me explain the story regarding why I talk about all these things, folks. I've had so many messages from people regarding what's going on in this world. Now we've got Fauci. Now he's actually right now being questioned in the American Senate, and they're basically going after him now, right? Why and how come he's not speaking? Because he knows he's in trouble, major trouble. But he was pardoned already. Now Trump never pardoned him. It was supposed to be Joe Biden that pardoned Fauci before he left his position. But you guys need to understand one thing, or understand one thing. The real Joe Biden is not here. It was his brother who pardoned him. That means the real pardon never even exists. So that means Fauci is still guilty. And everyone knows that. But a lot of people don't want to know that because sometimes they want some people that have been snake bitten many times believe that Fauci is the good guy. And then there's people out there going like, no, look what he's done to my family. There has been lots of proof of all bad things that he's done, chemistry wise, and yet who's gag ordering it? Mainstream media. And because they get paid for it. Same for our country in Canada too. Same, they're being gag ordered. Who gag ordered it? Our last leader, Justin Trudeau. Why would he gag order it? Why is he preventing our CBC, CTV, all them to tell the truth? Because they themselves are caught in the middle of lying. And so, that's why I mentioned even earlier, when I did a little editorial regarding the world's going crazy, yes. Because the thing is that right now there's a huge investigation on people. Every politician that's liberal, every politician that's part of the NDP. There's some corrupt ones too. And there's a few, the conservatives, that cross the floor to the liberals, and they're in trouble. Because there will be, it's going to happen, folks. They're under investigation as we speak. There will be martial law. It's still coming. Martial law means military tribunal. It's nothing to do with common government. Federal and provincial means nothing. They're coming for Carney when it happens. They're coming for everybody else that's done bad. They're going to collect them. And we're supposed to be witnesses to see this. Okay? And that's going to happen sometime. We just have to be patient and wait. But my prediction is, by the end of this year, Mr. C, who actually now is not even the real prime minister of this country, by the way, he's just a positioned man, selected. There never was an election. It was never confirmed. It never was an election. There was never any votes. Okay, that was collectively corrupted, and because there were so many people that actually video recorded the scrutineers, and the scrutineers never even counted the votes. They just took the boxes and threw them in the dumpster during the election. So nothing ever went through. This was all this is big, folks. I'm telling you. I had seen one vision after the other. I kept saying, okay, what's going to happen to our country? And they're talking about all this stuff. So it's not going to harm us. It's going to harm them. We just have to sit back and watch the show. Okay, but they're exposing themselves, and people are getting worried about, say, Alberta. Alberta has every right to separate from Ottawa because they're not really a province, never were. That's why they only pay one tax. Alberta has always been its own state. It's never been part of Canada, never has been. Because it's only paid one tax. That's the only province that never became part of all the rest of the country. Just like Quebec. Okay, same thing. But everybody thinks that's the reason why Carney was panicking, and he's trying to dupe. Okay, he's trying to dupe the premier into joining Ottawa. She's pretending that she's going to be part of this, but she already knows. She sees right through the guy, because I sent a message to her, and many others have too as well. Don't trust him. He's going to go after you. Now, she knows his history. He's already bankrupted the UK, and he's going to intentionally try to take away Alberta. No, he can't. If Alberta separates, that's a good thing. Always will be, because it'd be far more protected than having Ottawa to control your province. So if Saskatchewan and Manitoba want to separate, let them. You're going to have more protection, and you're not going to be. Why would you be controlled by a Islamic leader? Oh, you guys didn't know that, did you? You're going to be controlled by an Islamic leader, okay, in every province except Alberta, because your king of England is a Islamic leader. He actually gave up his Catholic position, the church. He walked away from the church. He joined Islam back in 1996. That's why they're getting away with everything in the UK, and he's part of it. So if you guys really want the crown to be on your side, and if you really want Islam to be your new religion, think about it, okay? Because Carney's all for it. That's why do you think he said the Muslim way is the Canadian way? Why would he say that? Because he joined them. I'm not going to accept that. British Columbia can separate. David Eby is scared. Eby, he's a premier of BC, he's scared. And everybody said, Eby, do you want to be part of the Islamic leadership, because they can tell you what to do and you have no control? And see, a lot of the First Nations have no idea. You guys have no idea. Do you want Islam to control your provinces? Because that's their goal, to take over all the countries. Why do you think they all came here? Now, Heidi says all these adults and children that got the shot, how are they going to heal their health? That is the heavy metals cleansing. Heavy metals cleansing. That can be done, and you can fix it. Now, these snake bites are not good. And it takes about 2 years before it starts to destruct the body, and there's major side effects. Now, some people are not sick right now because I'll tell you why. For 2 years, they were doing the bad stuff. Then our commander-in-chief burnt down every chemically destructive serum. He burnt it down, destroyed them all. Then they replaced them with this saline. That's the reason why some people are not sick. They pretended that's real, but it's not. It's saline. It's not real. They're called a sugar pill. So that's what I'm trying to point out, folks. There's not everybody's going to get sick. Now, I lost my best friend through the snake bite. I know. I will stand behind it, because there's no way he should have gotten sick. Suddenly just boom, 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 was gone. Right? Am I mad? Yes. I'm upset that I lost my best friend too soon. He was too young still. He was like, actually, we're more like brothers than just best friend. He was my brother. I never had a big brother. I was the oldest in my family, and Dale and I were very close. I mean, we did things together all the time, and we were out there traveling, and we did stuff in helping the Métis community, but also just being there for people, and we did a lot of work. And Dale and I would go back and forth, and then both his lovely wife Dale too, both Dale and Dale. We worked all together lovingly. We're family. That's all it was. We're just family, and we got along so well. When you start losing all your close friends because of these snake bites. It hurts. But again, I had to learn as a healer and reader, I had to learn to become an observer. If I didn't practice this, if I didn't have this skill, this gift, I would have been traumatized. I would have been very angry with God. I would have been upset with, I mean, I'm telling you, I probably would have been so messed up. And I probably would have already been snake bitten myself, because then I didn't even know that what was going to happen ahead of time. But I knew, because I was warned ahead of time, not to do it, not to get snake bitten, and neither did my wife. And there are others that I tried to convince some of my relatives not to do it. Some of them didn't listen to me. Oh, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, you don't know what you're talking about. Guess what, folks? Those conspiracy theorists now they're going like, oh, now I understand, now I know what you're talking about. Because the word conspiracy theorist was created by the CIA. They're the ones that were involved when they actually were involved with John F. Kennedy and his loss of his life. So the thing is that they made that up to make us believe that we don't know what we're talking about, you know. And yeah, my dad, my brother, my nephew, all named Dale too, and Gail, me. Yeah, and I remember Ernie. Ernie and I had a long talk, and I told Ernie, I said, "Don't do it, bro. As much as you can, avoid as much as you can." And he did. And you know, here's what Fauci did. Okay, talk about Fauci for a second here. He even said if anybody who's not snake bitten are the ones that are spreading the big V. But we weren't. We were purely clean. But they were trying to get you to believe that we're the bad guys because we refused. Oh yeah. They're even were going to go as far as building, or actually they built internment camps. These internment camps were built. This is before Trump. They built internment camps, and they were going to put us unvaccinated people into internment camps until we're going to be held down, and they're going to jab us without permission. That's their goal. They were going to put us in internment camps, and we were going to be re-educated. I'm not kidding you. That's what their goal was. We would have been a brand new system. That got changed. That got changed. Because God said, I need a new David to help stop this. And this man came forward, and he's been doing it for a long time. Whether you hate him or whether you don't, and whether you think he's stupid and crazy, he's our commander-in-chief. He's not just a president, he's a wartime president. And he's changed a lot of things up. But he also wanted you to see what the truth is, and you had to see what really happened, because if he could have taken all these people away and had them all arrested, taken them away, and you guys would have blamed him for all what he was doing, arresting him, go, well, how do you know? There's no proof. How do you know? So he has to show you. He has to show you what they've done wrong. So for you to see it. And if you still don't want to look at it, I've had people go, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Well, then you are afraid to see the truth. That means you don't have guts, right? And yeah, and Ernie says, yeah, a lot of my friends turned on me and would not come near me. But you know what, Ernie? You're the hero. You're coming from your heart. And I feel bad for a lot of people that did do it. You know, I mean, I got relatives that did do it. And I love them dearly. And they also, a lot of them actually have said, I wish I never did it. Well, you did. But you can fix it. Okay? Take my advice. Fix it. To get rid of it. Get it out of your system. Take my advice. I know what to do. Why did they try to stop us from using ivermectin or fenbendazole? Why? Because it was fixing it. But Fauci says, "Oh no! You can't use that. It's horse paste." Well, guess what, Fauci? In the very beginning, we were the one that's promoting ivermectin for 40 freaking years. And then, because some people above you that were dark told you, oh, you're against it now. So he's told what to do. You see, even our so-called leader, Carney, is also told what to do. He's just a puppet. We have many puppets. Hello, how are you doing?
Good, yes. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hang on, I'll get you back in here again.
Okay, I don't really have Wi-Fi or internet right now, so I just called the number.
While you're here, how's it going, Kathy?
Yes. You know, you caught me on a weird day. I'm like, it's been a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, been a day. I can just give you the rundown. I don't know if you have time for that, but
Yep, we're live.
I just went for a beauty appointment all the way in Seattle, and while I was there, on the way, I'm in stop and go traffic. My truck is fully loaded, and out of the back, I see this black thing. I'm like, what was that? I just happened to look in the rearview mirror. What was that black thing? Well, my window popped open, and I'm like, I don't think I see the reflection of the glass. So I pull over at the next exit. Sure enough, the tail bed, the hatchback window pops open. Don't think anything of it. I close it up, lock it, continue all my journey to Seattle. It was an hour and 45 minutes. Go for a beauty appointment. I'm in the chair for the beauty appointment.
Yeah.
And the entire table collapses, and I go flying in the air, upside down, backwards, with everything she had laid out for me. And then my head hit the wall, and my neck is jacked up, and I'm thinking, it happened so fast, like out of the blue. What had happened? What happened?
But
there I was.
You've already had, but you've also got hit in the head once before. And what happened to you earlier? You've been recovering from all this, and again you got hurt.
What is going on? I don't know. I don't know what to say. And then I get all the way back, and I'm getting, because I'm experiencing van life now out of my apartment.
Yeah.
Then the movers canceled the second time, and now they pushed me out to August 14th. And so I'm rearranging the stuff in my truck so I can sleep in the back seat. Wow. And I'm rearranging everything, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna put stuff in the tail bed now.
Yeah.
And then I'm in the tail bed going, where's my gym bag? It fucking fell out on the freeway.
No.
Yes.
Does that mean you got
$300 worth of vitamins in there. I had my blow dryer, and like a lot of stuff for women it's hard to replace, right? I had a towel and a head towel and my brand new flip flops I only wore 3 times, and but it was expensive shampoo, a blow dryer, a special blow dryer thing.
Well, are you going to go back and get it or leave it?
No. It's somewhere. I fell out in Tacoma. I'm like, nobody talks or flagged me down.
Well, maybe a homeless person has it now, so you probably provide them something for themselves.
No, yeah, but I had some like expensive, toiletry things in there. Yeah. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah. And then when I remembered all the vitamins that were in there, I'm like, oh, it was like $300 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it. So I've just been trying to like lay low, first do no harm.
Well, how is your head?
Well, it's my neck. It's like it got jacked up, and I'm not a Sue happy person. I just don't.
Okay, so
I know it's a tough thing, but I don't believe in that.
You got hurt in the salon. Is there going to be is there going to be any compensation?
No. And then they tried to put another woman in that table after me, and I'm like, and it almost did the same thing to her. I'm like, don't put anybody in that table. I'm like, get rid of it. So 2 women dragged it away, and they brought in another one. But
So
And
you
it's like,
got no so basically they just sent you off, and you got no compensation from the fall in their business.
no, no. And I know salons carry malpractice insurance, because I know
You
that.
need to go back.
But it's
You
like,
need to go back and go after them. Sorry, my dear, but you're gonna have to do it. You can't walk away from this one.
shit.
Tell them that you're hurting and that they have to compensate you. You got to do it. It's the only way.
And they're gonna go, but you were fine when you were left. And she's like,
No, you know what?
I'm
Let
like,
me tell you something. When a person falls, especially on their head or their neck, what happens if you're in a car accident? You get hit from behind. What happens? It's a
whiplash.
It's called whiplash,
Exactly.
right? So it means they have to compensate you,
Yeah.
because that means you got to go to a chiropractor to get readjusted.
Right.
To be readjusted.
Right.
How do I know that you didn't break your neck? Right?
Exactly.
You won't know anything about it until about 4 or 5 days later when it swells up.
Yeah.
So
aside from the beauty appointment, that was fine, but it was the going up in the air that was not cool.
Plus, also, you should get your money back from that beauty appointment.
Oh my gosh, I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway,
you have to. You got to do it.
I know. I'm like, it's going to happen in three or 4 days. I'm going to be pretty stiff. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So,
can you actually photograph? Can you photograph, or are you able to, any pictures or any kind of photography or
no.
anything? Okay.
No.
What you need to do is to, right when you get a chance, after you hang up, to photograph, say, behind your neck where you're hurt, because that's swollen. Do a close up on it, photograph it, just for sure, and then you can let your chiropractor know what happened to you. Tell them the story, and then they'll tell you exactly the same thing, what to do.
Yeah, or I could just send her the bill, but I know they carry malpractice insurance. But I'm thinking, okay, what other gremlins are there that are acting up right now?
There's nothing bad. Like, I don't see.
Retrograde.
I'm not seeing a bad thing. That was a sheer stupidity on their part. If they already knew that table was not any good, they should never use it. Period. Okay.
I know, but it was like a strata lounger, not for like watching the stars, but it just seemed kind of rickety. I'm like, how can they make so much money? Make so much money?
Yeah.
And they got these flimsy tables. I didn't understand that, but
yeah, but still, you already seen it. You already know about it. You experienced it. How many people fell before you?
I know, that's what I'm wondering. How many people actually fell before me?
Yeah. So you'd be surprised. That's the reason why people are not saying anything. If they don't want to talk, they should. You gotta put those people in their place. I mean, you need compensation.
Yeah, and oh gosh, there was one more thing I needed compensation for, and I don't remember what it was. But, I don't even remember. But enough about me. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Yeah, I was just we're live right now.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, so you're live here with us in the studio. But that's my advice to you.
Yeah, is today Psychic Day?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I've been meaning to call you and going, what is going on? What is going on with Kathy Underwood? Like, seriously.
Yeah, well, Kathy Underwood's going to go through some major shifting, but she's not going to go through. You're not going backwards. You're going forwards.
Something's happening. Yeah.
And I will say this to you, my dear. A lot of times too, when people hit their head, they get even more psychic, more sensitive, because the pineal gland is that we already have the pineal gland. People got the pineal. They actually, when it goes through a jolt, next thing you know, you're getting buzzed and you start getting more messages from spirit. Happens all the time.
What was that last part? When you start getting what?
You get more messages from spirit.
Oh, I hope, because I feel like I haven't heard anything. It's been crickets.
Well, not anymore, because you just finished talking to me and I gave you that message. So you sit quietly with them. You won't hear crickets. You'll probably hear frogs. But But I would say your best bet to do is to sit quietly with yourself and start writing things down, like an automatic writing. Just start talking to spirit, and
Okay.
they'll start giving you guidance, and whatever you feel you hear feel those words, write them out, because they're giving you a channel.
Okay.
Yeah. And you already
Yeah.
know, because I've taught you that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Be worth your while to try it out.
Yeah. I just need to stop hitting my head and need to stop having little accidents and just
Yeah.
need to, I've been trying to move out of Washington State, and it just seems like, the mafia, you try to get out, but they keep pulling you back in. And I've been trying to get out for over a year, since March of last year. I figured, okay, I guess I'll just sign another lease for a year and I'll downsize a little bit more. And the end of May this year, my lease was up and I put everything in storage. And it seemed like since the fall of last year, we had floods, we had landslides, mudslides, road washes out.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of fires, and now we have fires again. And people are having freak storms and tornadoes and hail. And it's like, I just want to go east. I just want to go east. I'm checking out South Dakota now.
Yeah.
And
you're in South Dakota?
So I'm in Olympia, Washington right now, but
okay.
I'm checking out South Dakota because it's auspicious for me and my birth alignment, right? And Sioux City, Iowa, which is southeast Iowa, or northwest Iowa.
You got a pendulum, don't you?
Yes, I do, and I have dowsing rods too.
Okay.
And
talk to spirit with your dowsing rods and or your pendulum, and find out where you're supposed to be.
And I keep doing that, and I'm like, am I getting mixed messages? And then I'm thinking, okay,
well,
we're going to take a break from everything. Yeah.
Here's what you do, my dear. What you do is, when you take your pendulum, you ask them, where am I supposed to be? And you just name the name. Like, what place am I supposed to be established now for a new location? And you just say the name, and whether they say yes or no, because they're going to tell you where you're supposed to be. They're guiding you.
Good, because I'm like, there's something I'm missing or not doing, because I'm not hearing anything.
Well,
and I get my pendulum out, my dowsing rod.
We're here because we're expecting an answer, like in words, and I keep telling people, no. What you have to do, sometimes you're going to have to use a tool, and they'll tell you exactly, but you have to tell them, like, by name. Am I supposed to be here at this location? Am I supposed to be at that location? And they'll tell you. If it says no, then you don't. Okay, we're above this location, so you'll know where you're supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll do that. I hid my dowsing rods and my pendulum when I went for that beauty appointment today, because I was in Seattle, and I took some valuables in because I didn't want to leave anything in the truck,
Yeah.
But I still have that locked up, actually. So I'll get that out tonight, or maybe I'll just rest tonight and then do that tomorrow.
Yeah, do it tomorrow. Just take your time off. Just get some rest. Let your head calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Drink lots of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clear your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. It's just it seems like every time then Veronica, she was saying, well, don't go south, and I didn't say why, but now I see Oregon's on fire, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, you're better off coming towards us.
Yeah.
See, you're in Olympia. You're on Olympia, Washington. You should be heading this way.
Yeah.
Like
and anything going east. There's a bunch of fires going east. I didn't want it, and then South Dakota was on fire. Everything was on fire.
Yeah, South Dakota. Yeah, because we're not where I am. We're good, right? Where we are.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So if you go to Vancouver, Washington, you'd be fine.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, where are you guys located? Now, you can tell me later. But I'm like, well, now I got a couple of weeks to kill before my time.
Yeah.
Before my movers come. I thought maybe I'll just come up there and visit you guys for a while and then just come back.
Yeah.
You have to send me your address if possible, and then I'll see what I can do. But
it out.
Okay. And anything else? Do you see anything else on the horizon for me?
So far, so good. You just have to follow your heart. Just get some rest, and we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay?
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. You take care.
All right. I'll check in a little bit. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Okay. So, isn't that crazy? Now, this lady here, Kathy, she already had some. She had a nasty fall before, a few years before that, hurt her head, and so this is pretty freaky when having to fall off. You're on a healing bed and it falls down, and you went down on her head again. This is actually a place that shouldn't have harmed anyone as a customer. That's not good. So, okay, so let's go back to Heidi here. As I had the same situation. I was harassed for not getting, yeah, exactly, and that's been going on for a long time. People were getting harassed for a long time. Now I'm still seeing a lot of people still wearing masks, still, or they're still thinking, oh, it's going to come back again. No, it's not. Never did. The paper masks don't stop anything, folks. They're just dust masks for dust, nothing more. You can't stop a cough and a cold. You can't stop it when it's supposed to happen. In fact, coughs, anytime anybody has a cold flu, that means the body itself is expelling the garbage out of your system, okay? Because it's getting rid of all the toxins you built up for years. That's what it's for. So what the government has done is they made you believe that colds and flus are dangerous. No, to expel it out, it's good to have that. You need to cleanse. That's what's happening. No one's going to get sick from you if you're cleansing, unless they themselves have a weak immune system. And if they get it too, well, good for them. No one's going to unalive themselves because of that. No one. But this is what the government has been doing. It's been teaching you to be afraid of a cold, a flu, a sneeze. I've seen people sneeze in the store and they run out of the building like, oh my God, run! Oh, really? Are you kidding me? Or I watched this one lady when they had the lockdown and we're in the store grocery shopping. I never wore a mask. I made my own self-made card, but I was exempt. And I'm walking down the aisle. You guys remember they used to put arrows on every aisle and you had to go one way only? And if you're caught going out this being the same aisle as someone else, all of a sudden I've never seen so many faces go to the shelf. They're looking like, they're so afraid of you. Your face, they're facing the shelves. And they're not just afraid, they're deathly afraid. The government had people believing that it was the end of the world. Like it was, yeah, like it was bad. They got people so psychologically messed up, but they did that 24/7 on a television set, brain training you. Okay? It was brain train, wiping the brain to believe in self help. They were making sure you could not help yourself, but you had to believe and to trust them to tell you what to do. And that's exactly what they did. Oh well, that's how it works, right? Christine, nice to see you in the chat room. Joanne. Yeah, so if anybody else likes to call in, folks, you're more than welcome to call in, ask a question, 604-818-8375. This is Psychic Night, and I'll give you guys the number again. Those who just came into the chat room, you're more welcome to jump in. And I'll put this on the chat room over here. We're both in the Facebook chat room as well as the YouTube chat room. Now, we may not have had as many people coming into tonight because it's still a holiday summer holidays for a lot of the kids and families. So a lot of people are out of town. They're either at the beaches or the parks. Well, I'm not sure about parks, but they're away far, far away from where they are living, and they're probably just trying to make the best of it before the kids get back to school. And so some are still here until all of August, and so they still got a month left. Now, to let you guys know, those who are living close to my area here in British Columbia, I'll be doing an event in Alder Grove. It's called the Rock and Gem Tailgate Sale. Rock and Gem, which basically rocks, stones, and crystals. I'll be doing that event in Alder Grove. If you're interested and want to come down and see me or to chat, you're more welcome to. If you need to get some rock, stones, or crystals, I will be selling a variety of things, similar to things like these. This is yellow citrine. Okay, these are the things that I different kinds of stuff that I sell. I'm going back and forth with the cameras, guys, so you'll see that. So I have all kinds of crystals. This is a double terminated. Double terminated means 2 points that are perfect on both sides. That's called double terminated. And then having to look closely at some of these crystals, and they're also very useful for healing, very useful for channeling, very useful for different varieties of health wise. You can work on the nerve endings if you're dealing with, say, an aching pain in your say arthritis, joint pain. You just point to the area of the muscle and just lightly above it, and it starts doing the work. It starts pulling things out, because that's what crystals are for. You'll find crystals in cell phones, TVs, anything electronics. That's all crystals. Crystal flashlights, crystal generators, and crystal's been used by Atlanteans. So it's been going on for generations, thousands and thousands of years, folks. So it's been around for a long time. This is not a new age. This is old age. I'm talking to you in old age, right? So yeah, and like I said before, I talk about crystals, stones, rocks, and for healing purposes. I make healing tools of sorts. Let's see here. One that I do use quite often. Now I have these little. This is an orb. This one here is called smoky quartz. Mr. Keith.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Hang on, sir. How do I know it's you?
Go ahead, Ty. You're breaking up.
Oh, you said, how do you know it was me? Because you have a identification number showing up.
Oh, hey, okay.
How is the weather on your side of the world?
Go ahead.
How is the weather on your side of the world?
Well, a couple of weeks ago it was pouring rain.
Yeah.
Now it's warmed up. It's cool in the morning now, okay, because the weather's starting to go back to like we always get this really hot weather in the middle of in July,
yeah,
and then when coming up on August it starts to cool off, and by the end of August it's going to be cooler,
okay.
You know,
yeah.
And that's the way the weather goes up here. It's just normal weather.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you a bunch of stuff in Messenger about what's going on. For instance, the glaciers are getting bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
The poles are colder, and CBC is lying. So what can I say? And I'll be honest, Rick, you can't talk to people my age because they're so enthused with CBC that they'll never change.
Yeah, well, it's called Kearney Broadcasting Corporation.
Right. Anyway, I phoned to talk about something a little different.
Okay.
I went to the back to Patosh days, okay?
Yes, yeah. How was it up there?
Oh, it was good. It was packed.
Good.
I got there on Saturday morning. So it starts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I think they clear off Monday. But anyway, I got there early in the morning. It's only about about an hour from here, if that. You know, so I get into Patoche, and so I get into the sort of the camping ground. They put me on the outside row with my bus, so that's good. I didn't have a power pole or anything, and I didn't have my machine to turn on my air conditioner.
Oh.
I got a floor model air conditioner in my bus, which works fine. It keeps the place cool enough that I'm happy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was packed. Like, you couldn't find a park by noon. You couldn't get a parking stall in. Boy, they were finding, because it's in the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just parked them out in the field, and they roped off certain areas, and the people were parking. And the people were very behaved. There was, when I first went to back to Patoche days, back in the 80s, they used to have a bar. Well, you know what I mean. You used to have like a bar there,
alcohol,
a beer garden, and there used to be lots of trouble.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so they said, over the years, they just said no more beer garden.
Yep.
And it's amazing how that changed everything. You know, everybody's happy and they're going around. I went, and like, my eyes aren't so good at 74 years old. So I turned around and I saw this sash, and I thought it said $14, right? $114.
Whoa!
So I got to the till, and I bought it. I was buying for my son, right?
Yeah.
So when they said I was in shock, but I still bought it. You know, you got to pay the artist some money, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, was that hand done?
Do you sell sashers?
Well, I got sash, but was that that sash you got? Was that hand weaved?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's why it's 114.
That's a hand weave sash.
Yeah, okay.
It is beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's all the hours.
Anyway, so I'll be mailing that to my son up in Fort McMurray.
Yeah.
Right now he's working with the Fort McKay Métis. He does all their advertising and stuff like that for them. So he's doing quite well. Plus he has he advertises for different outfits, you know. So he's doing really good. And I
got my mom's old sash. It was orangey in color. I got her sash. That was the old one that they called it the oh my god, I forgot the name of it. Assumption sash.
Yeah. I got the orange one.
Yeah. Probably like yours. Like
orange and other colors in there, brownish stuff. But anyway, it's the older style of sash.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was talking to a lot of the young Métis up there that were in there, and I asked them, do you know that there was more than one riverboat on the North and South Saskatchewan during the Northwest Rebellion? He said, no, there was only the Northcote. I said, oh, no.
No.
I said, there was three docked at Medicine Hat, that's the rail bridge in the spring.
Yeah.
Okay? There was the Marquis, the Baroness, the Minnow, the Northcote. They were at whatever. And then at Prince Albert, there was another three or four river boats, okay, parked there over the winter. And and I says the pilots, the riverboat captains got back from the Nile River, because they during the 1880 1883 and 1884, there was a rebellion on the Nile River, and I think it was Middleton.
Yeah.
He took 500 Canadian voyageurs, okay, and 5 prairie riverboat captains from Saskatchewan here and Manitoba, and took them to the Nile River. Like they signed up. For the reason for the voyageurs was because they knew how to navigate shallow, sandy rivers, right?
You know what, Keith?
So,
we should talk about that one on my other show for Wednesday. We can do that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But anyway, they got back.
Yeah.
Anyway, the young fellow was surprised. So I said to him, I said, "There's two good books, but the one that you should get is the Theodore Fire Canoe by Theodore Barris, Ted Barris."
Ted Barris.
And I said, "Oh, that is a good read. It has a lot of history of the Northwest Rebellion and the riverboats of the Saskatchewan or whatever." And I says, "You guys would be surprised what is not being taught in our schools." Anyway.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I just thought I'd say I had a good time.
Cool.
They had, so when you got there, right?
Yeah.
They had wagons, like wagons pulled by horses.
Yeah.
You know, and like taxi wagons. They had a certain area in the fairground, right?
Yeah.
And they would bring you to the closest to your vehicle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
then a bunch of people would get off, and then they had a little golf carts, 4-wheel for 4 people, and they would take you right to your camper or your vehicle. You know what I mean? It was great, and you could, if you wanted, you could have a fire pit there, and cook on your fire pit and do whatever you like, If you wanted a beer, which I had neither beer, you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Like it tastes like beer, but it's not beer.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the taste of beer, so I had that.
Just a taste.
And
zero alcohol.
Yeah, it's just something that I like.
It's like such a drinking.
And it was amazing how they had everything. So they had the rodeo area,
Yeah.
They had the rodeo clown and all that, and they had all the chuck wagon races and the horse races and all that there, and you didn't pay any extra. Okay, like if you go to Calgary Stampede, you got to pay for this, pay for that. This here was great because it's not the size of the Calgary Stampede, but they had everything there that, and you didn't have to pay for it. And the vendors, they were great. They were helpful. Anything you wanted, if you were looking for something, I was looking for a beaver tail. It's a treat, It's not a real beaver tail. It's like it's some kind of, I guess, fudge or something. They call beaver tail, and it's supposed to be real good. And my wife wanted one, and she didn't come with me. But so I turned around, and I'm asking, no, we don't sell those here. I said,
so basically, what you were eating was like a bannock with sugar on it.
Oh yeah, okay. And the bannock, they fed the elders, they had a elders lodge there, okay?
Yeah.
Air conditioned. So let's say if one of the elders was getting overheated, they'd bring him up to the lodge.
Yeah.
Then they had breakfast, dinner, and supper served to the elders for free. You didn't have to pay. And the elders didn't have to pay to get in either. Like, the young people had to pay, but the older people didn't have to pay, You know
what, Keith? I want to get you on this coming week. We can do this live for Wednesday and talk about this, because I think it'd be a great idea. Our listeners are asking if they're going to get a reading.
Okay, so on Wednesday you're going to have a show.
Yeah, I'll get you on. How about if I snag?
Okay,
How about if I snag you in and we'll do a Wednesday show?
Okay.
And we'll talk about Batosh.
I'll tell you what. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
And we'll figure out a time, and you'll have to give me the channel. Is it on your show like right now, the same channel?
Where the mate? Right. What I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
I'm in the Facebook. I'm in Facebook and on YouTube. You should be able. You should be watching.
Okay. Yeah. But is this where you're going to hold it?
Yeah. Métis Matters. Yeah. On Wednesdays. Yeah. There'll be. I'll have
so you got Métis Matters on this channel?
No, just on radio itself, at the station itself. I can pre-record you.
Okay, so we got to go to the radio station. Okay,
no,
you're going to have to show me how to get there again.
Yeah,
but I'll try on my own.
Yeah, I'll phone you. I'll give you a call.
Yeah.
And we can do a pre-recording for the show, and then we can just put it right to the studio.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope I educated a few.
Oh, you got their attention.
Anybody that's going back to Batosh, go all the way to Duck Lake. They got a little history thing here at Duck Lake.
Yeah.
But from Duck Lake you go east on a dirt road, okay?
Yeah.
And you get to a ferry, and you cross the ferry, okay?
Yeah.
And then you head south on the road across the ferry, like you get across and you go south to Batosh.
Yeah.
But you gotta cross that ferry.
Yeah,
It is something else.
Exactly.
Anyway, I'll let you go.
Okay,
and
you have a good one, my friend.
Okay, be good.
Okay, I'm always
Bye
good.
for now.
Take care. Keith's a pretty good guy. Keith is we're both, him and I are so involved in the Métis community, and I guess he got excited. He wanted to tell what was going on at Batosh Days. Batosh Days actually is all based on Métis celebration each year. So and if people go to Saskatchewan, go to the town called Batosh, and that's where Louis Riel and the time period happens. So people go there every year and celebrate. So people come and showing up there by the hundreds, even thousands probably. Almost like the Calgary Stampede, except this is more of a and it's open for anybody to come. Really, it's a lot of fun to do. So, anyways, we're taking calls. Nice, welcome guys to the chat room. We're doing readings today. If you're more welcome to call in 604-818-8375 and give you guys a message. And yeah, we're doing pretty good here. We got another 20 more minutes to go. So if anybody wants to phone in, or you want to ask a question about something else, let's see. Heidi's asking, where is this happening? Batosh Days. It's actually in Saskatchewan now. I'm not sure if it's over or still going. You'll have to check it out. Yeah. Let's see if you're able to call in. Prefer you guys to call in. So you can call 604-818-8375. I'll give you my number. Shut on the wall. And I'll take the number from there. So the Psychic Night message from Spirit. Whether you want to talk to a loved one, or if you want to find out what's going on in the future. Okay, so he's saying that Métis, okay, Batosh Days is done. Yeah, so, well, Keith, I'll just get you on. We can talk about it for next week, this coming Wednesday. I'll give you a screen on the phone. We can do a pre-recording and let everybody know what happened there and all the people that showed up and that sort of thing. It's wonderful to do that. Okay, so where was I? We talked about crystals and stones. So basically, too, this is another stone I've got here. It's called a rose quartz. It has a bit of a pinkish hue in it. And people say, well, how do these ever get this round? There's a machine they use that can, and they use water, and they can turn them into little balls, no matter what size. They cut them all up, and they start making them different sizes. to use. They're very useful. Sometimes they can use those balls, like people say, well, I can use it for healing. You can use them like to scry. You ever heard of scry? Not crying, but scry. Scry means the people that used to do the old-fashioned way. Sometimes they call them the gypsies. Well, they say, well, they look into this, and I can see your future. Well, basically what it is, you're just using it a tool to get a vision. Now, most time they use a transparent type of crystal stone to do scrying. You can use anything really. People have actually looked Nostradamus. He would use water to scry. He look into the water for a vision, and that's how he was able to see what was happening in the future. He's the one that mainly was the most major predictor for what was going to happen for coming events in years ahead, absolutely years ahead. In fact, he even named Adolf Hitler as one of the leaders of a country to basically the Second World War. He mentioned his name, but he didn't really mention his name as Hitler. He names his name as Hissler, which was so close. So, and then, but he would call it, and he could not make his predictions in his proper language because people back then, when being in the 1500s, people thought that he would be considered as a witch or bad person. So he had to make them into what's called quatrains. And so you had to learn to figure it out for yourself what it means. And so, but he makes sure that people can understand the word quatrain and how to decipher the future, what he was trying to point out. So it's actually quite interesting, right? Catherine Frank says, I found a 1 pound rose quartz, raw, and it is gorgeous. Yes, rose quartz is very, very good to have. We call it the love stone, and the love stone means like whether to love yourself more or to love others. It's just a really beautiful stone to use. It also helps to heal the energy of yourself or others as well when you're in the room. Now I also have one here. This is raw, and this one is called a shungite. Okay, that's called shungite. This is the raw version of it. Now, shungite is used for, let me shut this part off here so you can see better. Shungite is used for to control the EMF frequencies. For example, a lot of people, when they have their cell phones, if you're next to a tower, or if you have these BC transmitters, okay, or any kind of transmitter that's near your house or on your house, they can affect your sleep or your sleep and your basically mess with your head. So having to have one of these on your tabletop or in a small little satchel that you can hang by your bedside helps to control the EMF frequency. Now, what you can do, and you can get it also in a polish. You can polish it as well. And polishing it, you can actually put it in your pocket, or you can actually have a piece of jewelry made out of it. I have a piece of jewelry that I made. I made circular one, and I had a friend of mine who actually was in the chat room here. It was Bettina. Her husband actually did the silver work for me, and I made it into a piece of jewelry to wear. So this is actually shungite. One of the most important pieces of stone that any of us ever use is actually called shungite. And so I'm really totally stand by this. Absolutely, I use it a lot, and it feels comfortable in the palm of my hand. Like it has that little feel. You just know it feels comfortable, and you can hold it. And I meditated with it. It's like, oh wow, I can feel that lightheadedness, which is very comforting. It's not heavy, and it's not pushy. So, so Catherine says, I have a large Russian shungite pyramid that I keep by my bed. Yes. So it's any type of shungite, and for some reason it's the only stone that actually helps to control the EMF frequencies. Where can you find them at a reasonable price? You can get shungite, I would say this price, maybe about $5. Their raw form depends on the sizes of however you want to where you want to get them. They're very affordable. They're not they're not something that you have to pay, you know, like gold. You know, but they're very, very, very. I call these more valuable than pretty well almost any stone next to an amethyst. Amethyst actually is a purple stone. I don't have it here in front of me, but it's a purple one. It's basically good for calmness. Do I have amethyst in here? No, I don't. I don't. Oh, by the way, this one here is, like I said before, remember at the beginning of the show program, this is called citrine, yellow citrine, or they call it gold citrine, which is much darker. Now, citrine actually is the derivative of the, I would say, the further burning of an amethyst. The amethyst is purple. That's from the pressure, volcanic pressure, more contained pressure, and it turns almost like a golden yellow, right? And yellow citrine is called a manifester. Some people call them money manifestors, or even manifestors of all things that are in part of your path in your life, which helps quite a lot. Yeah, shungite is right here. That's this one right here. Catherine, she bought her on Etsy years ago. Can also put shungite in your drinking water vessel. Yes, you can. Yes, it won't hurt you. A lot of people will put regular common crystals in their glass of water and it makes their water more positive. This is a double terminated one. You can see the point and the point. See, it's how it works there, right? So the point there. Let me see that. It's pretty cool. So what else we got here? We also have, let's see here. Some people call this turquoise. This is blue turquoise or turquoise. And turquoise actually is commonly worn by First Nations Native American people because to them that was one of the main stones they would wear for protection. And they would wear them on their clothing, whichever how they use it or utilize it. It's actually used commonly for great use. We also have, like I said before earlier too, we were going into smoky quartz. Smoky quartz actually has a bit of a smoky look to it, and smoky quartz is good for protection. Anything negative energy is one of the major protectors of all time, of all things. But it also helps to balance your energy. How you use it, you'd be surprised. Whenever you go into a store, as some advice, if you're going to a store and if you want to find yourself some extra stones to have in your home or for yourself, personal use, you're going to notice that some of the stones may not pull you as much compared to others. You'll be walking up to the counter and your eyes are going to go, you're fixed on this, like, why is this pulling me? So you go there and you ask that person, can I have a look at that? So you holding onto your hand and you're going like, wow, and you get that rush feeling. That means that that particular stone actually is calling you because it's something that you yourself personally probably need to use or carry for a while, because that's what the stones do. They call you, and they're trying to get you to be aware of it. Okay. Now what I've done here, this is actually an elk antler, and I make healing tools out of these. So I put my crystals and stones on the end of these ones here. Now this one here is, I'm making this one into a walking cane for me. So it'll be a walking stick. Eventually I'll have the stick down here, a piece of wood I'm going to bring in, and it'll be embedded on top of this, and I'll use it as my walking stick. Right, that's what I do. So, but I have, it's almost like, in one way, it's like a spirit gun. A beautiful crystal here and a crystal here. So when you hang on to it, it does the job. It's very, very comfortable feeling. And then again, people say, well, why are you using deer antlers? Deer antlers, actually, the spirit of the deer is also very good to have with you because it talks about self-love, right? And so it's natural, and these are natural fallen horns that fall to the ground after they lose them. So this is not hunted. This actually is a fallen horn. And yeah, so this is what I do, and I make them. I just embed them inside of here, so they're there permanently. But this is going to be a walking stick eventually. So this is going to look like when it's done. So it'll be like this, not like that, but like that. So when I'm walking, be as if you're going that direction, straight ahead. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm working on that. So what else we got here? Oh yeah, I do have one here. Oh, before I forget this one, before we call this a night, I've got this is where I was very fortunate, and I got 2 boxes, Oracle and Angel cards. Okay, and I'm selling these now. If you guys are living in the region over here, these are up for sale. I'm selling for $10. I got these given to me to, there's the Angel cards, mint condition, good to use for reading with, and yeah, see if you guys are interested in wanting to get a deck yourself to use. Good for training, good for practicing with, right? If you want to use, if you want Angel card, and these cards are beautiful. I'll show you guys what look like the Angel cards real quickly here. They're like they're brand spanking new, and it shows you what they look like. They're really nice, beautiful drawings of them. You guys can see that here. There we go. And it's almost like they're the old antique version of angels, the old the old greeting cards version of them. That looks really cute. So yeah, these are for sale, selling for $10. Like I said before, I'm going to be in Aldergrove on August the 9th, and I'm doing a Rock and Gem show, tailgate show in Aldergrove. And if you guys just keep an eye on my Facebook page, you'll get to see where I'll be. Now, if you want to get a deck like these, Heidi, you can actually. This is a nice. This is called the Oracle, but look at the beautiful drawings. These are all beautifully done. I mean, this is all. Look at that. It's just amazing art, and this is called the Oracle card deck. It's just beautiful work. The artist is fantastic to work, and you can use these to train with, or to use them as a reading tool for people or for yourself personally. And each one has a title on the bottom to tell you what it means. Like this one has hummingbird, and or like the serpent, and the serpent is not a bad thing. Serpent's a good thing. When you put a deck down, eagle, like it's like a variety of things. I got my own personal decks that I use if I want to use them. I like to use them for people to entertain. I stopped using my own decks because I was doing a lot of just regular traditional readings with pen and ink, with a pen and paper, I should say. Became an automatic writer more than just. There we go. Here, close this. Done. So, how can you send me $20? I can. I do e-transfer. You can contact my wife. You can just text me, and you can contact my wife, and I can send you the 20 plus shipping. Yeah, you can do that. And what else is there? I forget. One more thing. I was going to do one more thing here. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, right. Pendulums. Okay, this is a pendulum. This is my smoky quartz pendulum. I use all kinds of pendulums of rights, but this is one main one I use all the time. And you can see that I don't swing these. I don't have to. It does its own thing. But if I need to ask a question from spirit, just to show people what I can do, spirit will tell me either yes or no. So this one here, to me, when it swings forward, goes no. Spirit, can you show me a yes to people? Okay, so that's going to a circle as a yes. So that's how I do it. I don't try to swing it. I don't have to. And when I say thank you, it'll just stop. It won't go anywhere. It just quits. So I've used this pendulum for a lot of years, especially when I use it to help find missing people. Yeah, I use it to help find missing people. That's how I was able to help find missing people by using the pendulum. And I'll go over a map or wherever location I'm at. So that's one of my jobs I've done. And but I also do sometimes I'll give people confirmation and read. That's how I do this way. Okay. So what else is that? Yeah. So yeah, if anybody's interested, want to get their own pendulum, it's worth your while. Great tool to use, right? But it's more things to have fun. So you guys, my dragon's up here, my dragon puppet's up above, hanging around. Hanging around. Okay, well, I do appreciate you guys. Great deal. Thank you for being part of the program. And I hope you guys enjoyed the read and the information that can help you with the rest of what's going on right now in this country. But also, those are actually that called. I want to thank the people that did call in for their readings. They're more welcome to. If anybody wants to make an appointment to talk to me about getting a reading, I charge $130 an hour, and I do phone readings or Facebook readings, wherever you want to do it live, Facebook, that sort of thing. You're more than welcome to. And yeah, so if you guys are interested, just give me a scream and we can make any arrangements. Other than that, we'll talk to you guys next week, and you guys have a great one. I hope you guys are knowing you have still one more month left in the summer. So you got a whole month of August coming along. And my prediction is this: the fires are almost gone and the rains will come and things will get better. We just have to sit back and watch, enjoy the show. Not just mine. I mean, enjoy the show. Just don't get too caught up in it. Enjoy what's going on, what's in, whatever it's in the States or whatever across the world. Sometimes you got to learn to become an observer more than a participant. But if you do see something, don't lose sleep over it. It's not worth your while. But God will always be on your back, watching over your back. Take care of yourself, guys. And we're going to go out. Peace.